Hello YouTube, my name is Paul. Hello YouTube, my name is Paul. I hope you're all keeping well. I'm back today then with part 3 of my Amiga collection videos, and today I'll be talking about my Ocean software collection. I'm after a full set, very similar to my Psygnosis set. A few games from finishing, mostly compilations left to pick up. A lot of those compilations I'll pick up from continental Europe, especially France. Yeah, most of them in France actually. So I'll go through my games. There's quite a few to get through today, so I will crack on. The first one, which I want to keep calling Echo, but it's not, it's Eco. It's a bit of a strange one, this one. It's the first game released on the 16 bits by Ocean. You play as animals or plants or something. It's all about the ecosystem, but I never really got into it, to be honest. I wonder why. Next one is Whizball. So obviously Whizball was very popular on the 8 bits. Game developed by Sensible Software. The first in the new style box was Platoon. Again, a very, very solid game. If you're lucky enough to get off the first level with hardly any energy, because you'll be lucky if you made it that far, the rest of the game is brutal. I've never beaten it. I got to the very last level, but I gave up because it's too friggin' hard. Arcade conversion, Bad Dudes vs Dragon Ninja. Not bad actually. Not bad conversion at all. Very similar graphically to the arcade, just doesn't play quite as smooth. Under the Imagine label as well. So Imagine obviously were part of Ocean. There weren't many Imagine titles on the 16-bit machines, especially the ST. Maybe half a dozen at most, and they are blinking hard to track down. Daley Thompson's Olympic Challenge. Not as good as the original Daley Thompson's Decathlon. One of those games is brutal as well actually, because you get past the training section and by the time you get to actually race, you're knackered. I mean physically knackered. Yeah. I think 1988 must have been a year when Ocean Software decided to absolutely piss everybody off by making their games blinking hard. Operation Wolf. Again, a decent conversion, graphically quite good, but again the same as Dragon Ninja, a little bit sluggish. Not as good as my favourite conversion on the machines at the time, which was the Spectrum one. Now onto the new style boxes again. So Lost Patrol. Ocean Software didn't make many original titles, most were movie tie-ins or arcade releases, but Lost Patrol was one of those original titles. Operation Thunderbolt. Quite a tidy conversion actually. I thought it was really good. I can get to the driving sequence where you get the planes going towards you, but I can't get beyond that. It's bloody hard. I've beaten it on the ST, but the Amiga one for some reason is difficult. Ivanhoe, another original release. This one was developed by Ocean France. Again, quite that's not that good. From a decently average game to a bloody fantastic one. Rainbow Islands. A Taito arcade conversion. One of the best platformers ever released on the Amiga, in my opinion. There's a different variant box art to this, which has got no border, and it literally is like all colourful. I think the one I had originally on my ST was the other variant and not this one. Another really good arcade conversion from Taito. Plotting. Another puzzler. Not bad at all. This one took me a while to track down. It's one of the sort of more recent Ocean games. Darkman. And typically, as soon as you get hold of a copy, loads more appear. So yeah, not really played that one to be honest. I was hoping to show you the one before this, which would have been Chase HQ, but Chase HQ 2, Special Criminal Investigations. A better conversion of the arcade than its prequel. Not bad at all actually. Shadow Warriors. Again, not a bad arcade conversion. This was one of those games where the Amiga version scrolled and the Atari ST version had flip screen. Based on the popular TV or kids TV shows Run the Gauntlet. Like a multi-event sport, I think, sports program or something like that. I don't really remember it too well, but yeah, it's not too bad. Narc, another arcade conversion. Not too bad, quite hard if I remember rightly. Another quite difficult one to get hold of is Cabal. Again, not a bad arcade conversion. These kind of Operation Wolf style games were quite popular back then, weren't they? I remember shooting houses and stuff and actually seeing them collapse, which was a bit novel for the time. Wild Wheels. Not really played this one much either, to be honest. Nightbreed, the action game. Based on the film. It was a high budget film back in the day, which I've never seen before. And Nightbreed, the interactive movie. Not a bad conversion. Sliced by a Secret Agent. Not bad at all, actually. Robocop. Pretty much identical to the Atari ST version. I'm pretty sure it's arcade screenshots on the bottom there. Robocop 2. Now, Ocean Software games certainly diverged from their ST counterparts here, because this game was completely redrawn for the Amiga and was, yeah, brutally hard if I remember rightly. GX4001 is probably the hardest one though. Batman the movie. The best version of them all, I think, this one. As in like the home computers as opposed to not the consoles. Batman the Cape Crusader. I think it was the first Ocean release that came out in this bigger box back in the 1988. Not a bad arcade adventure. Another decent arcade conversion, Midnight Resistance. Not bad at all. Another one of those Amiga games that scrolled with the ST1 flip screen. Or flip screen, yeah. Another fantastic conversion of an arcade game is Pang. One of my favourite Amiga games. Absolutely fantastic. Elf. Another one of those unique originals from Ocean Software. Never played it. Another really good arcade conversion is Toki. Not bad at all. Adidas Championship Tiebreak. Now, I'm pretty sure they released an Adidas Championship Football, but I think that only came out on the 8-bit machines. I've definitely had it on my Spectrum. I've never seen it for the 16 bits. Another original release was Voyager. It was a bit of a 3D shooter, this one. Never really got into it. Ah, there she is. Chase HQ. Already seen the sequel. I think this was the first 16-bit home computer game, especially in the UK, where when the road split, it actually did split. Because Outrun before it, I think it had some kind of visual effect that when you kind of veered off, the other part just disappeared completely. So yeah, Spectrum was doing that sort of thing in 1987. Shame on you. Navy Seals. Rock hard on this as well. Rock hard on every single system, this one. Based on the obviously the movie of the same name. Another movie tie-in, Total Recall. Good movie that, wasn't it? Another classic Taito platformer, The New Zealand Story. Again, another fantastic conversion there. Really good game. My favourite flight simulator of the era was F-29 Retaliator. I enjoyed this one because it wasn't overly complicated, not like some of the others like Falcon and Fighter Bomber, for example. The Untouchables. Fantastic film that was. Again, this is one of those games that was redrawn on the Amiga. It's the same game as the ST, but graphically it was far more superior. Well, far more superior is pushing it a bit, but it was definitely more superior. Puzznic. There we go, another arcade puzzler. First of the small box compilations there is Precious Metal. There's many compilations released in France, which I love to pick up. I've got a couple, but they're really hard to pick up actually. I think this one I picked up from France. Party Time. Good old Hollywood collection. A few games on the back of that. Not too bad. Quite a common one, that one. Addicted to Fun Rainbow Collection. Some of the best platformers ever released on the Amiga. All in one box. Another really good compilation was Power Up. Again, some fine games on that one. Not sure if that's upside down or not. A few games on that. This one from France. Really hard to get these. I'm pretty sure there is two more, but I've never seen them. Red Heat. That was a cracking movie as well, actually. Not a bad game. Battle Command. Battle Command. Got to sort these bloody boxes out, all upside down. Beach Volley. This one seems to be quite desirable for whatever reason. It's not a bad game, again by Ocean France, not bad at all. One of those anomalies that I'll talk about a bit later on. So Stallone or Rambo 3. I'm quite sure this never got a big box release on the Commodore Amiga. Not in the UK anyway. There's a Tato box, like a big box full price Tato one, which did come out in North America. But there wasn't one in the UK. Let's shove these out of the way a minute, Now some of the big boxes. Hook. The first one. Parasol Stars. This is the sequel to Rainbow Islands. Well, Bob and Bob on their adventures again. The Addams Family. WWF WrestleMania. I think one of these came with lots of figures, and one of these came with a VHS video. Addicted to Fun Ninja Collection. Pushover. Based on the Domino Rally game, if you remember that. That was good fun and all, wasn't it? One Step Beyond. The Clumsy Colin. Quavers, wasn't it, or something? Whiz Kid, which I think was a sequel to Whiz Ball. Mr. Nuts. Hoppin' Mad. I'm not sure if this is the same as the console variants. I don't think it is. Again, quite a desirable one. Another compilation. This is the Dream Team. A few games on that. Too Hot to Handle. Like I said, there are many compilations released by Ocean Software across many different formats. Hudson Hawk. Came with a baseball cap. There's a baseball cap in here, but it's not in the best of nicks. Here she is. This cost me £1. Addicted to Fun Sports Collection. Super Fighter. I know I was surprised how many compilations there were. Not a bad game, Robocop 3. Played this quite recently actually. Not bad at all. One of those 3D digital image design games like the guys from F29, Epic, etc. Cool World. Lucky this is not the SNES version because that costs an absolute fortune. So as part of my Ocean collection, I need to get that one at some point. Along with Rocky and Pocky and the like. Epic. Some say quite a short game. I never really got that far into it, to be honest. Shaq Fu. This one's still sealed. I got one that isn't sealed. I just can't be asked to unseal it and play it. It looks like a bag of crap. Right. These are some of Ocean's later releases in collaboration with Team 17. So obviously Alien Breed 3D, The Killing Grounds. Needed quite a powerful Amiga to play this. Even my 1200 when it was accelerated didn't play it particularly well. I think this is Ocean's last game they published on the Amiga actually, which is Worms the Director's Cut, which is AGA only. Not a bad game actually, to be honest. Not bad at all. Quite a recent addition, so I've not had much time to play it. Lethal Weapon. An amazing film that was. Christ. Not such an amazing game though. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Got some manky t-shirt in it. And here we go. Very rare you come across this sort of stuff intact or complete with its free gifts, etc. The Simpsons, Bart versus the Space Mutants. Never really got into this, to be honest. It's amazing to think the cartoon's been around nearly 30 years, isn't it? Some little height chart in there for kids. I think, oh well kind of past that, and yeah. Burning Rubber. So they released a game called Burning Rubber, Ocean Software did, on the GX4000, but it's nothing like this copy of it. The second of the WWF games, European Rampage Tour. Never been a wrestling fan. Kind of remember The Undertaker a bit when my brother used to watch it, but never really got into it. Simant. Well, I tell a lie, so what's his name? Giant Haystacks. I remember Giant Haystacks and Big Daddy. You could forget them. Hulk Hogan. Nah. Nothing compared to those two, mate. Robo Sport. Never played this one. Developed by Maxis, who are famed for their SimCity games. Some more later releases in these like sleeves. The games, Espana, 92. Jurassic Park. This is the A1200 version, which I think has got some 3D sequences in it. Quite a hard game if I remember rightly. Bit of a contentious one, this one. International Open Golf Championship. I'm after this for the CD32, along with every other man and his dog. Interestingly though, this game was pulled from sale. According to the one, I think there's the one review of its sequel, which was Ryder Cup. So it's worth checking that out if you're ever hoping for the CD32 version, because maybe it never ever got a release. European Champions. Now this one here has got multiple variants. So if you're a variant collector, and I am in this regards to the Ocean Software collection, I do want to collect the variants of these. There's 4 of them. So there's an Italian one, I think there's a French one, a German one, and obviously the English one. And speaking of the German one, there he is, Lothar Matthäus. Exactly the same game, I think. Exactly the same game. Christ, bit heavy these ones, aren't they? Sim Earth. I actually remember going into the shop and buying this. God knows why. And the final Maxis game I've got is A-Train. I've actually got the construction set somewhere, but I don't know where I put it. Spent hours playing this one. And then, two more, just going to reach them. Like I said, Imagine Software games were very, very far and few between, but I managed to get this one from Germany, Victory Road. I got it about a year ago, I think. Sealed as well, for a decent price, about 30 quid. And it's one of the hardest games you can get in the Imagine Ocean collection. And this one came today, which is a compilation I'd never heard anything about before, which is Burnout. So I use Hall of Light as a resource site for all my collecting, especially for the Amiga. Yeah? It's an absolutely fantastic site. Got loads of screenshots on it, magazine reviews and previews, box art, everything you need to, well, everything you'd want from a resource site really, but I've never seen this one on it. So I got this from Holland, which arrived today, so absolutely chuffed to bits to have it, because there's no information on it whatsoever. But that's it for my collection of Ocean Software games. The next part I'll just go through a few titles that I'm after, a few games that never got released, or did they? Maybe you can help me out with that, but I'll see you then. Okay, welcome back to the final part of my Ocean Software collection video. There are a few titles left to get, not many. In terms of standalone titles anyway, there's plenty of compilations out there. Like I said, most of them I've got to find on the continent, and a lot of them I can't even pronounce. But there are a few games left to get. So the first one I want to get is obviously a full boxed, or full price, sorry, version of Rambo 3. Definitely came out on the Atari ST. But I think it may have gone straight to budget on the Amiga. There is a full price release in North America. I think it was published by Taito. When you actually play the game, it's got Taito, which has completely replaced any Ocean writing. So it definitely got a release in North America, but in the UK I reckon it only came out, or in Europe it came out just as a budget re-release. Another one similar to that would be Head Over Heels. I've never ever seen a full price release of that. I've only ever seen it under the Hit Squad label. So that's two. Another one is Billy the Kid. So before coming into this final part of the video, you may have seen an image of Billy the Kid behind some writing that I put up just before this bit. There's a box on eBay, it's about 450 quid. Now my guess is it came from probably an Ocean stand at a computer fair years ago, or used as some kind of point of sale material. Just going through an Amiga Power article which I found, it's got Gary Bracey saying it was not completed to our satisfaction and it wasn't fully debugged. It reached a point where we decided it wouldn't be released. So never got released. I know it got released in Europe under different publishers. I think Leader was one of them, and I think it was released in Germany under another label completely. But Ocean did not release it, because it was developed by Level 9, and if you've ever played it or tried it out on an ADF file, it's bloody crap. So I'm not surprised it wasn't released. So from my point of view, that kind of should close the door, but I'm always quite interested because obviously that box is on eBay teasing me every single day. My gut feeling is it never came out. Another one, pretty similar kind of story really, it's got to flip a page over a minute, is International Open Golf. So this game here, obviously I got it on the Amiga, but it's a CD32 version I'm after. But again, the game apparently was pulled from sale due to poor reviews. I'm not sure it had anything to do with the word Pringle. I know it's a golf clothing label, but maybe the crisp company weren't happy about it. Who knows, I ain't got a flipping clue. But I know it's pulled from sale because apparently it was due to poor sales. But the CD32 version of it would have been released roughly the same time as the CD32's actual release, because I think they're both released around the same time. One disc is known to exist. It's a collector in Luxembourg has it. He has the disc with a A1200 box. So it could be what, a copy disc, it could be a disc that's come straight from the developer, who knows, but it's potentially the only known disc to exist. So my gut feeling again is actually it never got released on the CD32 because no one else has ever seen it. Again, like I said, European Champions has multiple variants. I've got this one and I've got Lothar Matthäus, or yeah, Lothar Matthäus. So I'm missing Olympique Marseille, I think it is, the French equivalent, and Riti. Is it Riti? I can't pronounce the Italian very well, so I'm sorry about that. But Riti 2, again released by Leader, but it has the Ocean logo on the box as well, but there are 2 other variants I'd love to get in the collection. Just bringing my list back up a second. Renegade. So I got Renegade on the ST. It's an absolute git to find. Probably comes up on the Amiga once every couple of years under the Imagine label. I think it was quite a late release compared to the sort of 8-bit machines that came out like 89, 90 maybe. Another one I'm after is Army Moves. So Army Moves, from what I can see, came out as a CU Amiga magazine cover disc. I've never seen it either. So did it just come out in the cover disc, or was there an actual Imagine branded box? Who knows? I don't know. Hall of Light has nothing on it whatsoever. But apart from that, that's about it. I've got other games on the Ocean label for the Amiga, but on the CD32. So games like Kid Chaos and Sleepwalker and Ryder Cup Golf and that I've already got on the CD32. So only one I'm really missing are the ones I've just said. So if you could help me shed some light on any of those, that would be absolutely appreciated, because there's sleepless nights are being caused here, mate. I just want these frigging games, and they don't exist, or do they exist? Who bloody well knows. But that's it for my Ocean collection. Thank you for all the new subscriptions. I've had loads since my Psygnosis video has gone up, so thank you very much for that. It's much appreciated. I'm not sure if I've got another 1 or 2 Amiga videos left. I've probably got another, I don't know, 80, 90 games to show, so it may be over 2 videos by miscellaneous publishers. So I'll crack on with that as soon as. Trying to pump out a collection video once a week at the minute. Once that's done, I would like to crack on with my Sega Mega Drive collection. Mega CD collection, 32X collection, CD32. There's quite a few collection videos to show yet before I finish up. So I'm hoping you're enjoying these videos, and I hope to see you again next week. Thanks for watching, and take care. Bye bye.